Next up, at UFC Seattle, we have the featured fight of the evening of Rob Font taking on Jean Matsumoto.
Hey.
Rob Font was supposed to be on this card. Rob Font was originally, I believe, was he the co-main event? I think he was the co-main event against Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz broke his shoulder, retired, and then they pulled Jean Matsumoto from the UFC 313 card. He was supposed to fight Chris Gutierrez, and now he is here. So we got Rob Font taking on Jean Matsumoto.
Hey.
Rob Font, 21-8 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He is coming off that win over Kyler Phillips, taking on Jean Matsumoto.
Hey.
Undefeated in his career, coming in on short notice. Rob Font, gritty, tough, very technical striker. Northeast tough. He's got a decent chin. Not a ton of power coming out that way. He is primarily a boxer. You're not going to really see him kick or wrestle often, but he doesn't need to because the hands are clean. They're fast. He works in and out of that pocket. He's got fantastic volume at almost 6 significant strikes per minute. Decent defense. He's hit with fewer than 4, but he does wear damage. Couple of jabs. This dude's swollen and bloody almost immediately. He's coming off that loss to Kyler Phillips, where his striking was good enough to make up for giving up 4 takedowns. He's taking on Jean Matsumoto. Yeah, there it is. Jean Matsumoto, well-rounded guy. He has a black belt in BJJ, very high accolades in Muay Thai. He can initiate offensive takedowns as well. He'll shoot big power doubles. If he can be taken down, or if he can get the takedown, he ends up on top. He does really well. If he ends up on bottom, he stays busy. He'll make you work. Creative striker, variety of kicks, good counters. He does get hit, though, like often. Plenty of tough. Plenty of cardio. He can push through some adversity. He's coming off the decision win over Brad Katana, where he was taken down 3 times. He was hit a little bit, but he showcased big power, clean striking reads, and he was just blasting Brad off of kicks. Because of the short notice, this fight is at a catchweight. It's at 140 pounds instead of 135. I don't think that that's going to matter here. I'm assuming they'll both just make weight and everything will be fine. I'm assuming when Rob lost Dominic Cruz as his opponent, he didn't just fully stay in camp, right? I'm sure they told him, oh, we'll find somebody for you, but it's hard to stay as focused and stick to everything when you don't even know.
It's hard to stay hard.
I'm gonna pick Jean. Before I pick him, though, I do want to remind you that Rob Font is actually good. He's a little old. He's slowing down. His teammate just got absolutely lit up last week, but he is good. The boxing is clean. It is tight. If Jean keeps this just a clean boxing match, he's not going to win. He's not going to win that fight. But if he comes forward and he fights him the same way he fought Brad, mixing in all the things, being dirty, yeah, he's going to get hit a little bit, but he's going to move forward. He's going to land on Rob. He's going to push the pace. He's going to back him up. He's going to stay aggressive. Literally just outwork him by being young and tough. Then Jean wins this fight. I do think Jean wins this fight. The odds are yo-yoing. He opened at minus 220-something, minus 160. Like, they're bouncing back and forth. I'm on the Jean side, but I do have respect for Rob. What do you think, Jakey? Boy.
Yeah, obviously, Jean Matsumoto is my dude. That's my dog. I was at the last fight going crazy. Me and actually, let me see if I can pull out that picture. I should have done it beforehand. I didn't even think about it. But I was sitting next to his friends during that fight, and we were going fucking absolutely bananas. Me and Jean's buddies there. But I don't even know what I'm doing on my phone anymore. I scrolled way too far. Let's see if we can find that. But as we're talking here, obviously I like Jean. I think he dominates this fight. And I've been trying to tell Angelo all week about this fight. Angelo's like, I'm worried about this, and I'm worried about that, and, I don't know about Jean and this. I'm like, there's no issues, Angelo. There's absolutely no issues. I have full confidence in Jean's abilities. I've never wavered one instance in my discussions with Angelo. I'm trying to convince him that everything's going to be okay.
Jacob was texting me nothing but bullshit. Here's a picture of Jean with a cut in his face. Looks like he's already halfway beat up. He's in trouble. He's sending me pictures of meals. He's got too much weight to cut. Not looking good for Jean. Where's the picture of the meals you were sending me? Where the hell's that? Here we go. Pictures of him at the Cheesecake Factory. Cutting weight's going to be a problem. Picture of Ariana Colodnolozi plowing French fries. Jean's going to have issues cutting weight. You doing everything possible to stress me out.
You fucking leave Ariana out of this. My beautiful queen. You fucking apologize right now for even putting her name in your dirty fucking mouth. You pig bitch. You apologize right now for even speaking her name. That is my fucking queen.
You better get to this fucking breakdown. You fucking...
Listen, I do like Jean. I am biased to Jean. But I will tell you, I worry. I do worry. I've been sending some worries to Angela. And maybe that's just the mama bear in me, right? I see my cubs out there. I see my baby face assassin, Jean Matsumoto, and I just want him to succeed, right? Because he is one of my favorite fighters. I've been on Jean for a while now. I said he's one of the best 135 prospects up and coming, and he showed that he's got some grit, some determination, because that was a little bit of a war he had to go through, a war of attrition versus Brad Katana. He came out on top, so we know he's okay. He's not going to fold under pressure. Even that Argueta fight, Argueta was fucking all over him. He worked through it, found the submission win. He's been through wars before, so if this turns into a nasty fight, he can handle himself all right. He's got the wrestling. What I do worry about a little bit is Gene is he's very good, but he can kind of fall into fights he probably shouldn't really be in, right? He'll stay in the pocket. He's a good striker. He'll sit there and box. And I do worry about Rob sticking that jab on him. And then when it's time to wrestle, the wrestling gets a little bit too desperate for a guy like Rob Font. I know people can take down Rob Font, right? But if you're getting a little bit telegraphed, he's an experienced guy, and he's going to be able to see that coming. We just saw him expose Kyler Phillips, and everyone's going to be like, oh, Kyler Phillips, a fucking gasser. He was just coming off a performance versus Pedro Munoz where he looked fucking fantastic for 15 minutes. I had Pedro Munoz as my lock of the week against Kyler Phillips because I'm like, oh, Kyler gasses. He's shown that he doesn't gas unless you run into a guy like Rob Font who can stick you with that jab and do enough in the grappling to make you work. And I do worry, you know, sometimes trend is your friend. You hear Gianni say that all the time. Trend is your friend. Just follow the trend. Well, the trend this year is undefeated prospects. How about a mute next time, you fucking asshole? Huh? I'm in the middle of one of the best rants I've given in years, right? And that's what I hear, okay? We're in the year of 2025 where undefeated prospects are dropping left and right. Now, I'm picking Gene. I bet Gene. But maybe, like I said, it's just the mama bear in me. I worry that he's going to strike a little bit too much. Rob's going to put that jab on him. We saw Katana with a nice jab start beating up his face a little bit. And then if the takedowns aren't quite there, you come into a decision fight. It's like, it's whatever the mood the judges are in. But I like Gene. I think he's going to get it done. I hope he wrestles. I hope he's ready. You know, catch weight. He was supposed to fight, what was it, next week anyway, but, you know, a week matters when you're cutting weight on a few days' notice, right? You had a structured
2 weeks.
Yeah, you had a structured plan in place. You got to cut a little bit early. I mean, I follow my Instagram. We've talked on Instagram. You know, he got off that plane and got straight on a fucking treadmill. So I mean, he fucking, you know, that wasn't like, oh, let's go see the city. It was like, let's make sure we're in the right spot. And he's a professional, and he's going to get it done. It's a catch weight. It is what it is. But I like Gene. Maybe I worry too much for my kids. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, I'm on the Gene side. A couple things. I think if you bet on Gene Matsumoto, you know he'll fight for you. You're not going to get frozen in the moment bullshit. You're not going to get somebody who gave up 2 rounds and does nothing in the third, more of the same. You're not going to get the Sean Strickland bullshit. You're not going to get the Kevin Giuseppe bullshit.
He knew he was in a war versus Katana, and he went for it.
And 100%. And I think Katana is very good. He can wrestle. He can strike. He's busy. He's a Cardi Diva. Rob Font's good at one thing. Rob Font is only good at striking. That's it.
That was the broadcast of me celebrating with Gene. We just went fucking crazy. I was just like, better beans. And I actually sent this. Gene actually asked me for all my videos and stuff for that fight, but there's me with his 2 buddies there. We were very excited when Gene won because it was funny because they don't know English. And they when they said the winner, they were like, the winner, because I know Portuguese. But when they were announcing the winner, it was a split decision, right? He does it. It wasn't Bruce Buffer, it was the other guy. He doesn't say the name first. He said, and still undefeated. And those guys didn't. So when he said, and still, I was like, I went like, woo. And they were like, they looked at me like, what? And then they saw that Gene won, like, woo. So.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you bet on somebody, you can't win every bet you ever place. But if you bet on somebody, they go out there and they fight their ass off. It's like that's all.
If
he loses because Rob Font jabs him up, it's like, all right,
look at their delayed reaction, ready? Ready? I was like, yeah. Then they're like, woo!
Yeah.
It was like everybody, because I heard and still, so I knew he was going to say undefeated or whatever.
Yeah. That is funny. Well, if you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything else, this fight is not in DraftKings yet, but when it is, we'll take a look at those salaries. Gene will obviously be the favorite there. We'll see what his money is.
I forgot to show the celebration too. Look, ready?
Yeah. You just started.
Dude, I literally just.
That's so funny. Good for them. See? Good for them.
Brazilians are good people. Look at them. That's why I said parabéns. Give me handshakes. And
I see the win coming. I feel it. And if you want to check out all the action we got going on, go to WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, it's only $10 for an entire month's worth of access. And that month, we'll give you UFC 313, a couple of fight nights. This card, WeWantPicks.com. What?
Here's the broadcast. Go straight from.
Oh, that's so funny. Good for you. $20 super chat from Prominent Talent. Token of my appreciation for the premium bets. $10 a month is too good. ROI at 16% for me year to date. Not bad. That is not bad. Because if you know anything about sports betting, first of all,
Anything
long-term
over
success,
5% is very good.
It's very good, and long-term success in general is insanely hard to come by. Yet somehow the boys are making it happen. So Prominent, 16%, something to be very, very proud of. Thank you for the super chat.